All right, y'all. We got another update by Poetic Flocko. We about to get straight into this one. This one is entitled, "These Suspects Need to Be Arrested for Nolan Wells Today." And y'all don't forget to stick around to the end of the video where we go through the comments and all that kind of stuff. But first, I need y'all to go ahead on in.
Hype me up. Hype me up.
I need that like a crackhead need a pipe. It's Tuesday. That means y'all still got that fresh pack because you know them things is reserved for me.
A former Mississippi judge have came forward and confirmed the police ain't doing everything they could do to solve this Nolan Wells investigation. Potential. And it's probably because there are some very powerful families involved in this situation. Not only are they not doing their job, the judge will even take it a step further and say, yo, there are obvious crimes and arrests that needs to be made already that they are neglecting and refusing to act on. This is Carlos Moore. He's a former judge in Mississippi and current attorney.
That means he knows a thing or two about the system, the intricacies, the ins and outs, the nuance, if you will.
Y'all called us race hustling, ambulance chasing grifters because we say, yo, this Nolan Wells situation doesn't smell well and we want an investigation. So we race hustling, ambulance chasing grifters. So now you guys got to deal with an actual attorney, somebody who actually knows the law, somebody who was a judge, who knows how the enforcement of the laws are supposed to work.
Somebody that know how to read at the doctoral level, bro. That's what this ain't no Joe Smo on the block. This ain't no dude standing in front of the corner store just talking. He a professional. Stop playing, bro.
And let him explain how exactly the police is botching this investigation.
He got a bald head,
and
bro.
not doing
Grass don't grow on a busy street.
What they are supposed to do. Now, as you listen to him, ask yourself this. If Nolan Wells was any other race, let's not even say white. If Nolan Wells was any other race, do you think this investigation will be going how it's going right now?
Hello, friends. Come on in. I'm Judge Carlos Moore.
Judge Carlos Moore. Man, say it one time for him, man. Judge who? Say it one time for him, man. Judge who?
Hello, friends. Come on in. I'm Judge Carlos Moore.
This brother dropped a 40-minute masterpiece going at the police for their 1 hour of investigation before they said no foul play. Now, he broke down why there should be people in cuffs in jail fighting a bond right now while this case is being investigated. And he broke down the exact crimes they have already committed.
Hold on, before he gets into this, dog, 1 hour of investigation reminds me of Patrice O'Neal's stand-up comedy, The Elephant in the Room. He was like, if a white girl go missing, it's national news. They're going to look for a long time. He said that was this little woman in Peru that went missing. They looked for her all of 30 minutes. The parallels is crazy.
This is all very suspicious activity. We know that based on an audio recording and some video that Nolan Wells can be heard saying, give me my freaking keys. Excuse me, give me my freaking phone. And there's been two different versions. Some said he said, give me my freaking phone, or some say he said, give me my MF phone. Regardless, he was asking or demanding his phone. Someone had his phone who did not have permission to have his phone. So the first thing I see, the simplest thing I see is who had his phone and why, and was that theft of the phone? Sometimes we look at the largest case, we try to get to murder, but the person that took his phone committed a crime right there. There are witnesses to who took that phone.
This is what we're talking about, man.
I didn't think about
this.
That.
Is how it looks like when somebody really wants to solve something. This is how it looks like if somebody really cares. This is how it looks like when there's a concerted effort to figure out what happened. You know what you don't do? You don't say, hey, do y'all want to talk? Nope, we ain't got nothing to say. IG deleted, phones off. We don't got nothing to say. Mama's a judge. Mama said don't talk. We good. Okay, cool. Hey, man, there's nothing, we didn't find nothing wrong. No, right? You get down to the bottom of this, man. If Nolan Wells was any other race, we're not even going to say white. You know why we're not going to say white? Right? Because when we say white, now it's race hustling. When we say white, now it's grifting. So if Nolan Wells was any other race and his friends, now we're going to say black now. If his friends were black, because we know how they do us. If Nolan Wells was any other race and his friends were black, You don't think if that video comes out of Nolan Wells screaming, give me back my phone, what y'all doing? They not charging them with theft, robbery, or something. They not bringing, listen, they will be in jail. They will find out who Nolan Wells was arguing with, who had the phone, and once Nolan Wells said, give me back my phone, and you guys didn't give it back, that's theft.
Yeah, man. You know, if Nolan was white, because I don't give a shit who say I'm race hustling, grip, I wouldn't give a fuck. But if he were white, oh, it's going to be hell to pay. You a white man in Mississippi? Oh, no, bro. You mean to tell me we hit the prison jackpot? Hold on. Let me walk y'all through this. Group of black people goes out on a boat with one white person. White person goes missing, and then the just looks suspicious, fishy. It just look overall like they're not operating above board. We finna investigate this, and we gonna lock up as many as you black folks as we can, bro. We gotta feed the prison industrial complex. We have to, man. We got all of these shareholders that they expect a return on their investment. We have to fill these sales up. Yeah, it'll be a bunch of locked up black people, bro.
If those kids were black, they'll be in jail right now. Ain't it funny the police forget how to make people rat? They forget how to make people squeal. They forget the art of turning somebody into a rat when it comes to Nolan Wells. They've been doing it to us for centuries.
Look, we saw everything. We know everything. Your partner over there talking to my partner right now. You better tell me something before he get a chance to tell him something, because whoever offers information first, that's who getting the deal. They tell black people this all the time, and it works, man. Y'all ever seen 48? First 48, man. All they gotta do, offer him a cigarette, some McDonald's or some Popeyes. Dude singing like a canary.
Should we tell you guys what y'all gameplay is? Y'all gameplay has always been, if you try to get somebody to squeal, if you're trying to get somebody to tell on something that took place in the neighborhood, come and pick them up on a Friday on something petty. And you make sure to pick them up at 4 p.m. on a Friday so they can sit in jail for the longest. Sit in jail all weekend long. You see a judge on Monday, the judge lets you out on bond, and then pick them up again in 2 weeks on something very petty and have them sit in jail again for another weekend. And you rinse and repeat until they squeal. These are sheltered kids who've never been in trouble or been in jail. Sit in jail for a weekend will make them start telling you guys what we want to know.
But that won't happen, bro. They're wealthy. They come from money. You think a judge is going to allow her child to sit in a jail cell? She got pulled. There will never be an arrest. And if there is an arrest, it's going to be a civil takeover, basically. What's going to happen is this. The judge is going to make some phone calls, and they're going to arrange so that no one sees the child get picked up by the officer in the first place. And they're going to have legal counsel, and the process is going to be so streamlined that investigators such as a police officer who ain't really trying to investigate them in the first place, they're just doing it to keep up with appearances. They are basically going to not ask them anything, and they won't be caught with their hands in the cookie jar because they have legal counsel. They're going to be coached on what not to say, what to say, how to respond to certain things. And the attorney going to be right there. Anytime a police officer, if he were to ask him any real questions, which we don't trust him to do, they're going to be right there saying, nah, my client ain't answering that. No, bro, that's what rich people, that's how they don't go to jail.
But because, again, these are powerful kids with powerful parents, nah. Now, the judge would also describe another crime that would allow the police to bring multiple people in. Now, the phone thing, probably one person, but the person that probably had the phone, who knows? So the phone thing is just one person. Now, the judge would also describe another crime that could be used there as a RICO. You bring all of them in that was at that Horn Island on these charges and make them tell on each other.
If an affidavit is signed, an arrest warrant could be signed by a judge in Mississippi to go after that person that had that phone unlawfully. We know, based on his own words, Nolan Wells' words while he was alive, he did not give whoever had that phone permission to have that phone. So was that theft? I think if an affidavit is signed, if it was presented to me when I was a judge, I would have signed an arrest warrant for the person for theft.
Who's the judge currently? Let me guess. Somebody white. I know it, bro, because look, he would have got it signed. Man, I wish you was the judge right now, Judge Carlos Moore.
Of that phone, based on what I've heard. It'd have to be an affidavit format, but if it was presented to me in affidavit format from law enforcement, I would sign the arrest warrant for at least at this point, theft of the man's phone. We know who had it. We know who didn't report it to the family. The family had to go find it. And we know that Nolan Wells said, give it back to him. And evidently it was not given back to him. Why was that?
They had to locate the phone. 360. Life 360.
All of the other things I've stated, you piece it together. Is there enough right now for arrest warrants for murder? That is a good question. I do know at this point there should have been search warrants signed by a judge. Evidence should have been presented to a judge by now. We are nearly 7 days after July the 4th, when he was first reported missing. There should have been evidence submitted by Jackson County law enforcement agents. We do know at this point, low-hanging fruit. There should be an investigation about the underage drinking, who provided the alcohol. Those individuals could be immediately arrested based on if there was any sworn testimony presented to a judge. I believe a judge could immediately sign an arrest warrant for those who provided the alcohol to underage individuals.
There were a couple hundred people on that island. Nobody saw nothing. Nolan drowned and nobody saw it. Nobody saw anything happen to Nolan. Nobody saw Nolan leave the island. Nobody. Some people know something. That underage drinking thing, because they were, like Nolan and his friends were under 21. There were multiple kids, that probably 100 plus under 21. Well, you get to find out, okay, who brought the liquor to the island? Who in Nolan's friend group brought liquor? Because even if you're under 21, you can still get charged with underage drinking by providing liquor to underage people, even if you're under 21. Okay, which one of Nolan's friends in that friend group brought the liquor? Okay, cool. You had liquor in your hand and you passed the beer to your homie? Okay, cool, you going too. They'll probably get you about 20 plus arrests. Once you got about 20 plus people in, I can already tell you now from covering rap cases, we've never seen a case where more than 5 people where everybody kept it solid.
That's what I be trying to tell these little dudes, bro. Yeah, that's gang. That's twin, bro. That's bro. You hear me? Yeah, man, he's solid. He ain't gonna never tell, boy. What? Boy, that boy gonna think about that cell closing behind him nice and secure and snug, and he can't open the door and close it when he want to and use the bathroom in peace and go hit his girl, eat what he want, eat, smoke that za, drink that drink, man. That batting, boy. It's not Pookie. I forgot.
We've never seen it. 5 plus people, they squilling. But these are the things we're supposed to be focusing on. These are the things we're supposed to be talking about. But instead, they want to ignore all of this. Even the man said, yo, the police ain't even apply for search warrants.
They don't give a fuck.
Just the very fact that a missing person who ended up dead phone is found on that boat or found in your possession, oh yeah, that right there is probable cause for us to do a search warrant of that house.
And look, this is 100% race-based because think about it, bro. At one point in time in the Constitution, bro, we were 3/5 of a man. Bro, you don't give a shit about nobody who you don't view as no human being. Then you got the discovery doctrine. God, white people, then everything else underneath, dog. Them people got a real superiority complex, man. They're like, your life is worthless, bro. That's why they can do things like see a little girl approach the door, ring the doorbell, screenshot the girl from the Ring camera, post her inside of a racist Facebook group saying, you better be glad we weren't home to shoot you, dumb bitch. You might wonder what I'm talking about. That's what a white supremacist told his racist friends about a 9-year-old black girl trying to sell cookies. Had he been home, he would have shot her. These are the people who are supposed to investigate this crime. Come on, man. Make that make sense, bro. You ain't gonna never pull no wool over my eyes, man. Got too much common sense for that.
Find if anything else belonging to Nolan is in that house. That hasn't even been done yet. A judge has not even been approached yet in regards to this Nolan Wells investigation.
Cold-blooded.
Something fishy is going on here and it doesn't smell right. But instead of people focusing on this, instead of people focusing on what really matters, you got people like Jason Whitlock, who's doing 2-hour plus live streams talking about how the family don't deserve to be getting money from the public.
Jason Whitlock is the type of dude that I would slap like a hoe, bro. I swear to God, boy, I wish I could come face to face with him at like a little intimate setting, like a bar, a couple people in there, ain't nobody got no cell phone. Say, bro, man, you be on TV, huh? That's you? Bro, man, yeah, what's the platform you be on? Yeah, I thought that was you. Boom! I have to, bro. I couldn't be in that man's presence, bro. You know what? I'm lying. I'm not a violent person. God-fearing.
I'm appalled, bro. Y'all are disgusting.
Hate that.
They have launched a GoFundMe for in loving memory of Nolan Xavier Wells. They're up to about $650,000 on this GoFundMe. There's a report that Byron Allen, black billionaire, media mogul, has donated $100,000 to the Nolan Wells.
Let me guess, you're going to have a problem with it spending his money on. Ooh, I hate this.
GoFundMe.
Hate is a strong word.
This thing, I think, will get to $1 million. They got a goal of 750, but they just keep raising the goal every time they reach it, and it gets higher. You know, it may have started out at like $50,000.
Get to the point, land a plane.
Now they're all the way up to the goal of $750,000, and I would suspect by the end of the day they'll have a goal of $850,000 because they'll surpass the $700,000 mark or whatever. It's troubling. Is what the only thing I can call this is troubling, that they're following in a pattern that we saw from Carmelo Anthony's family. My black child has died, and I'm owed reparations. I'm owed some sort of financial settlement because my black child died in proximity to a white person.
I know the coins and the bunions on your feet got to go crazy after all that tap dancing you be doing, boy. I know he the type of that just, man, he really accepts it as a badge of honor to be called one of the good ones. You're not like the rest of them. I bet you he let them make black jokes in front of him and don't say nothing and laugh at it. Like, yeah, that is kind of. Boy, I swear. I'm sorry, y'all. Man, I'm getting out of character.
And I get to launch a charity off of this tragedy, and that money will help soothe the pain of the loss of my child.
You are a miserable, evil, disgusting old man. Now, I can understand if you got a problem with, let's say, Ben Crump or Al Sharpton getting involved. Again, understandable. Whatever your opinion is on them, understandable. But to go as low as attacking the parents who just lost their kid, the parents aren't forcing anybody to donate. They aren't saying you must don't. No, they started a GoFundMe. Hey, we're going to be chasing justice. We lost our kid. We're probably going to be like away from our jobs, away from our business, trying to figure out how to get him justice. If you want to donate and help out with the cause, here it is.
Does he have this same animosity and energy and the smoke for these white supremacists whenever they are raising money? Chud the Builder, them type of people, bro. Like when people are donating real bread to them, is he speaking out on it? Because I don't watch like him. I'm just saying.
And people are giving their money because they resonate with this story, because they feel for these parents. And you still got a problem with that? You still got a problem with that. And I don't understand why. Why would anybody have a problem with people giving their money free will to these parents who just lost their kid? You think these parents would choose the money over getting their son back? No, genuinely. You think this money is going to soothe out the lifelong pain they currently have due to the loss of their son?
As a parent, bro, ain't no amount of money that you could offer me that'll make me be like, nah, I don't want my child back. Give me the money. Ain't no amount of money, boy. I don't need money that bad. Give me my child, bro. Like, man, come on, man. See, Jason Whitlock, he the type of dude, bro, I mean mug him until he feel uncomfortable. If he got the balls to ask me what I'm looking at, then it's about to go up. I promise you, bro. That never failed, bro. You won't smoke with somebody, stare at them and see what they do. Like a man, he gonna either look at you and confront you, or like a hoe, he gonna go on about his business and fight what's the word? Fight or flight. You gotta bait somebody like Jason into getting into it, because you can't be the aggressor. He gonna use that.
And I never understand, y'all don't have this energy for anybody else other than your own.
I swear.
Y'all don't have this energy for anybody else, yo. It's never nobody else. There was a woman, Shiloh Hendricks, who raised like $800,000 because she lost her job after calling a 5-year-old autistic black boy the N-word with the hard R at a public park. Where was this energy for Shiloh Hendricks? Where was it at?
Yeah, man, BAN.
As a matter of fact, Let's take a look at what Jason Whitlock had to say about Shiloh Hendricks. To placate to the white supremacists who follow him, when he spoke on Shiloh Hendricks, who got like almost $700,000 to $800,000 for calling a black boy the hard R, he had to pair it with Carmelo Anthony to make the white supremacists who watch him feel a little better. Bro, mind your business. This got nothing to do with you. You ain't donate. This is not your money. Why do you give a? Why must y'all harass these innocent people? They not bothering nobody. They trying to get justice for their son. Why do y'all continue to harass them? Look at this hating nonsense he engaged in. Yo, watch this, bro. Watch this. They didn't come begging you for money. Why do you care? How much money they get? Why?
And I get the pretense of the argument would be, well, I've got to have money to buy the kind of justice that I want for my child. I guess the argument would be that Mississippi is so racist that if I don't have money to spread around, I can't get Mississippi, law enforcement in Mississippi, to pursue the truth. But there's also the other argument that some people could make is if I don't have money, I can't manipulate the truth. I can't produce the truth that I want. And so let me start a GoFundMe. Maybe I'll use some of it to improve my life. Maybe I'll use some of it to make sure I get an autopsy report that backs up my contention, or an autopsy report that tells the truth, a toxicology report that tells the truth or supports my narrative. But this seems like the way that we're headed, and I'm pointing to Carmelo Anthony as like he laid the blueprint, but maybe I should point even further back that this has been the point of the entire Black Lives Matter movement.
Jason Whitlock used to be so much more believable with his LARP. I feel like the LARP has kind of it's gotten stale, bro, right? The parents have came out and said they don't think it's a race thing. The parents have not brought up race not once. They've simply said, we just want a private investigation and we will bankroll it and we will fund the private investigation for our son. And if y'all want to help with this private investigation, here's the GoFundMe. Y'all can help, but we're going to do it.
I can't get over the fact that this man is trying to spin this narrative and make the claim and make the argument. What if some of that money is used to improve their lives? Look, this is the thing, bro. If the man and the woman who are the parents of the deceased Nolan Wells get $1 million and they are using it for legal defense or whatever they gonna use it for, bro. Let's say they got other kids. Life happens. They got an excess amount of money all of a sudden. The car breaks down. Okay, am I gonna be mad if they go use that money to go get a new car? To get out of debt? To help better the lives of the other children that they may possibly have? Man, shut your up. Bro, I'm so sorry for cursing like this. I've been trying to get better at cursing, dog, but I swear Jason Whitlock really is the worst type of dude. He would have made a phenomenal overseer. Master, they talking about leaving the plantation. I overheard them. I promise you I did. I can't stand these type of dudes, bro.
That's all they've ever said. They ain't accused nobody. They ain't said this person did it or this person did it. They ain't say the 3 white friends did it. And they just said we want a private investigation. And you're still choosing to attack those people, which tells me it's never about what they say. It's always about their skin tone. If you black, you are going to be on the receiving end of Jason Whitlock. It's simple as that. It makes no sense whatsoever. But let me know what you guys think, all right? What do you guys think about Jason Whitlock comments and about what the judge had to say? If you're
Jason Whitlock, Whitlock, is that what it is? You add an E in between the T and the L, that's white, and they got him on lock mentally. Oh my God, bro. Like something wrong with the dude, bro. Real talk, man. Let's get into these comments, dude. I know y'all like the comment section. I know some of these words. A lot of people should be arrested behind this cover up. Keep the fight going, Flock. Give us a voice. We must get justice for Nolan. Big facts. Everybody, the end. If you know something and you are choosing to stay silent, you are complicit. Pack them up. Jason Whitlock is vile. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. The boat should have been confiscated immediately before they could bleach it, clean it. Flacco is going crazy with the updates. Love the person. He got to eat justice for real. Flacco been cooking. We cannot continue to be blind to injustice. Jason Whitlock doesn't have any kids and never has been married. He can't empathize with any parents or qualify to speak on how parents should react. He's a horrible human. His fan base is all white supremacists, bro. I swear. Gotta be. Ain't no real ones listening to him. Jason Whitlock is an evil man. He basically just paid the role for these people to get away with scot-free. I wonder, did Jason Whitlock call it troubling when that racist white woman up in Minnesota raised $1 million from a GoFundMe after calling a black child an N-word? Of course he didn't, man. Come on, man. Uncle Clarence ass. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed this video. Shout out to Poetic Flacco. Jason Whitlock, go and eat a yeah, man. Shout out to the judge who's breaking this down. Shout out to you, man, and I hope y'all enjoyed the video.
Hype me up. Hype me up. Hype me up.